Good afternoon and welcome. And today I want to talk about The Promised Neverland Season 2, Episode 3. Now, this episode was a solid, good episode. And still to this day, after 3 episodes of this, I see nothing wrong with The Promised Neverland Season 2. In fact, like I said in my first video of Season 2, I said that this show needs to be a first ballot pick for the Anime Awards. Not for this year. For 2021, yeah. This show needs to be a first ballot pick. With Dr. Stone and Promised Neverland to be nominated for Best Opening, Best Ending, Best Protagonist, Best Girl, Best Boy, Promised Neverland needs to be nominated. Now, Episode 3 gave us something to remember by. We got this arc. We just finished the Promised Forest arc. With Mujika and Sonju, the 2 demons. And now we're at the William Minerva arc. This is the arc that we're going to be in. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be rushed about it because I don't know. With 11 episodes, I just hope they're in good pace. I just hope they don't rush it like they did last week. And especially with the manga's standpoint. And I'm not going to spoil anything from the manga because I have friends and some people who haven't seen or read The Promised Neverland. So I'm gonna do my very, very, very best not to spoil as much as I can. I'm just going by anime. In other words, like I said, I'm just going by the anime standpoint, not the manga. So, and by the way, I like the comments I got about Redo the Healer, and I gotta say, thank you. Because I did see the uncensored version of Redo the Healer, and boy, I was glad to see some breaking fingers and repeating. Breaking fingers, scream, repeat. Breaking fingers, scream, repeat. I'm just saying. So without further ado, here's the review of Promised Neverland Season 2, Episode 3. Whoosh. Now, here's the thing. After days of training, Emma, Ray, and the other kids are now on the verge of leaving the Promised Forest and onto a new arc. Again, after days of training, learning how to survive in the forest, they actually left the forest, leaving Mujika and Sonju behind. Okay, now after Emma and the others left, we get into this well thought out arc right now with, before the arc even ended, Sonju, the confrontation between Mujika and Sonju's, we talking about eating humans. And from that, when I saw that, I'm like, Sonju, it's like, do we trust Sonju at this point? Do we trust him? He's the whole talk when he smiled about wanting to eat humans still, it kind of questioned us saying, do we trust Sonju or not? Based on his reaction and based on what he said, it's tough to say, you know what? He's creepy. I don't know. You train Emma, but you want to eat Emma. You train with Emma, but you don't know if you still want to eat humans. It's that kind of thing he still wants. I don't know. Like I said, do we trust him or not? And I got a bad feeling about this later on if they decided to keep it on their pace. Okay, now as they leave, you see Sonju is killing off these other demons, which is good. I wish they would have shown more of his things. I just wish they would have shown more. I want to see what else he could have done. But, they want to keep a steady pace in the manga. So, let's slide the Promised Forest arc to the William Minerva arc. This is where the arc takes its core. And this is one of the most important arcs. Compared to right now, compared to the Promised Forest arc, this arc to me is kind of a top 5 best arcs in the Promised Neverland to me. So now they're heading southwest, southeast, east, southwest. But this is funny to me. The kids look so different and they look funny. Like one of the kids got these small little squinty eyes in that gray hair. And I'm like, what the hell? And then one of the kids looked like a trap. Because they said Christina. Because I remember Gilda told one of the kids, Christina, which way is this way? Which way is east, southeast? But then the 2 boys that kind of, rowdy craziness, they look at the compass and said, he's right. So I'm like, wait a minute. Christina Are you saying Christian? Because if you say Christian, I couldn't understand, but you said Christine. So I don't know where that falls. I don't know. I'm off of it. But anyway, they look for the shelter that says B0632. And they look for the coordinates for it. When they got there, boom, they're at the location. So now they think about, okay, where is this place at? Where's William Minerva? You got us the coordinates. We're right here. Where are we? And now they had to put it in code. I like Ray's using Morse code. Like, he knows his code really well. I like Ray for that one. The way he knows how to put the code into it is really great. He really is the brains of this operation. In this group so far, it's like Ray is the brains of the operation. I mean, he beat them in checkmate. He beat Sonju in chess. Come on. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, I kind of should have said this in the beginning. I like when Emma brought up Phil in the photo, because Phil's going to play an important role, and I'm waiting for that Phil episode moment. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They did it. So again, with the coordinates they found an underground shaft. When they went down there, they found an underground, you could say it, underground vault. A secure location down there where demons can't find them anyway because it's covered by sand. But it's an underground vault where they found supplies. There's food, water, a garden. You know, they could make tomatoes and start over again. You know, there's gardens, there's books, there's a library, there's TV monitors to see which demons are coming from. They have all the supplies. And so, yeah, I can understand kids just looking around, you know, having a good time and relax. I get it. But let's be honest, guys. If you guys head to an underground vault, underground passageway, and you see all this stuff, doesn't that kind of question, like, somebody's here? Me personally, I would have looked around first and see what's there, because I don't want to be, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, you just found something and you don't want to be those souls. Don't you mind said, like, okay, maybe there's something, maybe somebody's here. Let's look around first. Let's explore every area first, and then we'll see what's going on. And probably we could use it. So they did. And they didn't look as much. They basically covered, like, what, 25% of the location? They skirted all of it. But I can understand they're having a good time. You know, they ate some good food. They finally eat some bread. They eat some great vegetables, and they finally enjoyed a bath for themselves. Okay, that's that. I get all of that. But then at the end, where it's just like, you want to know what's going to happen now because they gave us a cliffhanger. They really gave us a cliffhanger. Episode 1 gave us a cliffhanger about, do we trust this demon or not? This episode right now, you gave us a cliffhanging moment where we at now, where it's like, okay, where does this cliffhanger takes us to next week? Because at the end of the episode, they found other doors, and some other doors they gave us what we like, hidden doors. Like, the pen was used to open the door, and they found an old monitor station that Isabella used to a radio transmission, an old radio transmission that Isabella used. So they used it. But then the cliffhanger started getting, you felt the cliffhanger coming. I mean, when they opened the door, one of the kids saw a sign and it says help. Mind you, help in written blood. And blood. Literally in blood. And then out of nowhere, there's a door with a telephone. Just a chair and an old telephone. And it just opens it up. Emma picks up the phone and said, no sound. It just said, this is William Minerva. And then boom, cliffhanger. So I'm like, oh boy, now I'm thinking people are going to react to this like, oh shit, are we going to see William Minerva? But let me tell you about this arc. This arc is going to be about, like I said, this arc is about Emma and the others looking for coordinates to the shelter of BSO632. And that's when they encountered the man, an adult, who's there, and they're going to ask that man to help to look for William Minerva. And if you don't know the man you're talking about, if you guys think about what man you're talking about, if you look at the opening to The Promised Neverland, Season 2, not Season 1. If you look at that opening again, you see a man in that opening. That's that's where they tell you like, oh, okay, he's gonna be important in this arc, and it will. It's gonna happen. So, what do we got in this episode? Well, let's be honest. This is a solid episode. I like when it went from this arc to this arc. I wish the Promised Forest arc would have been a little more, but they didn't. I wish it was a little more to it. And right now we're in the William Minerva arc. This is the 4th arc. So we're right now in this 4th arc where we're gonna see if this leads to the Goldie Pond arc, which I desperately wanted to see if they get to that cliffhanger Goldie Pond arc. But let's see how that works. But again, this was a solid episode, and the plot right now is getting there to a point where it's like, okay, what do we got from the plot now? The whole plot of this season right now is just looking for William Minerva. The first part was them being chased by demons. That was the whole thing. But then now it's gonna revert it. Now it's reverted back to, hey, you know what? Let's look for William Minerva. And that's what the whole storyline behind season 2 and the whole plot. The plot of it is staying at its course. I don't think it's gonna rush it yet. That's the thing. I don't think it's gonna be rushed. But with 11 episodes of this, let's see where the pace of it goes. Hopefully they don't skip any mangas and just keep it at a slow, steady pace. But again, this was a solid episode, and I like the development that Emma and especially Ray have in store for them. So thank you for watching this video. I look forward for next week's episode, The Promised Neverland, and I hope you will.